Hi, I'm Debari Martinez, and I'm very proud of the Latino population in Rollins and Carbon County. I just want to say that there's not one incident in the history of Carbon County and Rollins that the Latino population has been important in making Rollins and Carbon County what it is today.
So we all know that there are a lot more places out there than Little Rollins, Wyoming. However, we also know anybody that's come across our community, we all know that there's nothing like our community. And growing up in Chicana here, I was born and raised here. I've moved away and seen other things, but there's definitely nothing like our tight-knit community here. Our heritage, our culture, our history. It's just been amazing to grow up here and to have the experiences that I've had here. There's definitely nothing like it, and I'm blessed to say that I come from this place. And the friends that I've had from the past, whether they're still here or not, we still stay in touch. And I don't know how many people can actually say that. And even if we don't see each other every day, the minute that we come back together, it's like nothing has ever changed. So that's another thing that I'm thankful for. Thank you for me.
Hey, my name is Cesar Garcia. I grew up in Rollins, Wyoming. I got my triplets and my twin boys. We grew up here. We got the Team G Boxing Club. We had all the community support us throughout our years. I got my national champions working on the last one. I want to thank all the support we have from the community. I appreciate every single one of you, and hopefully we can bring more national titles to this town.
Hola, saludos a todos. Soy Juani Rivera. Yo vivo en Regulus, Wyoming desde hace 11 años y trabajo para Gestar 8 años y medio. Me siento orgullosa de trabajar para este programa. Soy la cocinera y lo personal me gusta cocinar para los niños y creo que a ellos les agrada los alimentos que proveemos. Me da gusto servir para las familias y los niños de esta comunidad.
My family is celebrating the Latino Hispanic heritage of Carbon County, starting in the restaurant business in 1972 with the Chili Parlor in downtown Rollins, then the La Ponderosa, now we just call it Michael's, and continuing serving in the hospitality industry through the Cliff Motor Lodge and also the Steak and Stein here in Rollins. We also had a restaurant in Denver. The Lujan family is still proud to be here. From a place in time that our family arrived in Rollins in 1943 and lived through a period where restaurants here in Rollins posted signs in their windows that said no dogs or Mexicans allowed. We have persevered. We have had no handouts, no excuses, and our family is humbled to still be here, to serve our church, to serve our youth, to serve our community. And in 2020, through the Lujan restaurant and with the volunteerism of our families and our dear friends throughout this community, we are able to serve a free meal to over 1,200 of our locals on Thanksgiving Day. Gracias a ustedes por todos, por mis parientes y mis hermanas, y por eso los grandes amores de muchos calores me gustan a mí y vaya con Dios.
Hi, I'm Myra Reyes. I have lived here in Rollins for 15 years. My husband and I are raising our 4 kiddos here, and they all go to school in the school district. I work at Rollins Middle School currently as the secretary, so if you need anything, just give me a call. Si ocupan algo, aquí estoy para ayudarles.
I'm Ivan Garcia. I go to Rollins Middle School. I love Rollins because I have friends and teachers that I respect. This is a great community.
Hola, soy Jared Richard. Soy el maestro de español aquí en el high school. También enseño clases de inglés por las noches en el higher ed. Me gusta mucho esta comunidad latina por su amabilidad que tienen ellos y por su amor que demuestran a todos. Me gusta mucho cómo son muy amigables, les gustan tener amigos y son muy, les gustan incluir a otra gente.
Hi, my name is Janet Garcia. I would like to take a moment to say how proud I am to be a member of this community. We have such a diverse group of people who make up the population of this town. The Hispanic community contributes with our rich history, culture, traditions, and values. It is a joy to call this place home.
My name is Bert Herrera. I live here in Rollins, Wyoming. And I'm here to talk a little bit about the boxing club and why I think it's a good thing for Rollins, Wyoming. A long time ago, when I started to box, I had one of those things you called a little bit of an anger problem. So I found out that was the best thing for me because I was able to vent or concentrate on what I was doing because I had to concentrate on everything I was doing there. So it was an escape. As time went on, I had a family. I had to work in different places of the country. And then when my kids were getting older, Missy says, well, I tell her, where do you want to live? Rollins. Her family's here, my family's here. The history of my family is my grandfather, he was born here, my dad was born here, my mom, my kids, my grandkids, everybody's born right here. So my family heritage is right here. So when I came back, found out there hasn't been a boxing club in Rollins for a good 20 years. Even though I've been here, I just wasn't paying attention to the boxing club and everything else because I was trying to make a living for myself. So then I come here and then I find out they need coaches on everything. My daughter wanted to join a basketball team and they couldn't have one because we were short basketball coach. So there I am, volunteering for everything. So there I was doing basketball and I didn't know nothing. I had to go to the library, in those days, and got a book on how to do drills. We did really good that year. Then I helped out with the wrestling club. I coached the Rollins Wrestling Club, and I helped them out, and we did pretty good. But I always had it back in my mind, the real thing I knew how to do was coach boxing. So when I started to do a club, there really wasn't anything out there to really help you for not an established club. So my dad and myself, we were talking, we did it in his basement. When we did it in his basement that first year, I had 12 kids, 6 little guys and 6 older guys. So I had to do 2 practices down there. And we did really good that year. We had state champions, regional champions, and we ended up taking Sammy all the way to nationals that year. That following year, we were an established club, so we got help from everybody. So the rec board, they helped us out with the ring, they helped us out with everything. We were staffed, they knew that what we were doing was helping out the community. So they helped us out big time. My biggest thing wasn't just for boxing, to get a kid to go to those rankings and national stuff. It was back to where I know I needed to help some of these kids that are having anger problems and a place just to vent, just to release some of those things that they're having a problem with. In boxing, you had to do that. You can't just walk into the ring and just box because you were a tough guy outside. It doesn't work like that. You have to learn to respect your opponent. You have to be in shape. You have to be dedicated. And to do that, you have to put a little bit of effort into it. And it's hard work. And we did. We had a lot of kids that ended up doing really good. We had some that, okay, were they going to be a state champion? No. But they found a way to get in shape. We had some that were state champions, but they were never going to be regional champions. We had some that were regional champions that weren't going to be national champions, but they can always say they did box and know how to defend themselves. I still believe everybody needs to learn how to defend themselves. I coached for 16 years. 16 years I coached from the beginning till it, and then I mentioned Sammy Martinez. He's one of our oldest boxers. He ended up after high school, went to the military, went to the Marines, and he boxed for the Marines. And he did really good. He won the Armed Forces tournament there, which nobody in the Marines have done for a few years. So he made a name for himself in the Marines. That following year, they have a calendar of all the sports that they sponsor, everything, but he was on the poster of that in the back because he went to the Armed Forces tournament and he took second there. He lost to the Russian, and he did really good. So he knew how to box, and when he came back, he did go pro, and so I was his coach there, and he ended up fighting in pros. You can't say fight in amateur. It's about 7 times, and he won 7. He knocked out 5, and he went the distance for 2. He did really good, and had a family. Different things happened. He didn't go on any further. But after those 16 years that I finished coaching, he took over. So he's been doing it now for the last 5 years. And that's what I wanted. I want to make sure that the club succeeds and continues to go while I'm not here. And it has been doing that. Right now, they train in Sinclair. That's why I didn't want to name the team after a town or something, because this was a community. We've had kids from Saratoga, from Wamstead, we've had them from Sinclair, we've had them from Bags that first come down when we first started. So that's why we named them the Gladiators. So then, as COVID came, and they were training, and we appreciate them training at the Catholic Church in their gym for years. But unfortunate reasons, whatever, we ended up finding another home, and the town of St. Clair have been taking care of the club really good. And that's where they train at right now. So Sammy trains the kids out of there. And it's been going successful, and he has help with Art Montoya. So it's been thriving really good. And I'm pretty happy that it has, and I can see a future with it. Even if Sammy stops coaching, there's other adults that would like to make sure that this keeps going. But he has a boy, he's growing older, so there's a good chance he could be there for a while. So that's a little history. It's kind of a quick one, I think, but it's a history of the Gladiator Boxing Club in Rollins, Wyoming, and why I believe it's a good thing for Rollins. And as myself being here, my last name being Herrera, as a Latino here in Rollins, we are doing good things for the community, and we are striving to be positive, and we have the support of this town because we are doing a positive thing here.
Hi Rollins, I'm Aiden Garcia, and I'm ranked number 3rd in the nation, and I'd like to thank everyone for their support. Go Rollins!